Dr. Erich Hunter, the pendulum healer, talk about Ouija boards. You know, I do my series, Women of Ouija, with Karen A. Dahlman, the Ouijaologist of over 40 years of experience. We have fun with it. I've been using a communication board, now channeling off the board. I've only had good experiences, but a lot of people are afraid of it. And Dr. Eric is going to kind of give his take on it, if you should use it. I also believe that Hollywood has really given it a bad rap because it was very popular during the mid 1800s and throughout history, very popular way to connect. So what say you? What say you?
Yeah, no, it's hilarious because my dad, when he found out I'm doing this kind of work, 'cause I didn't tell him at first, he was kind of surprised and he was like, "It really reminds me of your grandmother when she used to play with that Ouija board." So you're right, it was popular. Ouija boards. So or any kind of spiritual communication. I really encourage people, like, if you feel strongly called to it, check it out, but try to find someone who's experienced and knows what they're doing to teach you and sort of show you the ropes so that you get into a good groove with it and you don't make mistakes. Because when you're dealing with the spirit world, a lot of times people have to do it by trial and error, but sometimes the error can wreak havoc on your life. So, if you want to do something like this, like a Ouija board or scrying or, some other form of communication with spirits or beings who you may or may not know, I would really urge you to do it with someone who's experienced. Like you said that you did. You learned from an expert, you had tutelage, and so you've had a very safe experience, and now you feel empowered to go and do this on your own. Yes. So that's kind of the ideal way. Less ideal would be to read a book. Now, the book may be accurate or it may be inaccurate. You don't fully know. So, you can always trust your intuition too. So going into something, does this feel right? Does it feel heavy? Does it feel light? Like, when I think of the Ouija board, do I feel really light? When I think of reading this book, does it make me feel happy or is it like saying I'm not sure about it? If you have any doubt, leave it out. That's my motto.
No, I like that. If you have a doubt, leave it out. Well, and I would say it's not the board. It's not the poor board that's. It's not. There's not a spirit in there. People think,
no.
Oh, is it going to? What do I? The board. There's some stuff going on in my house. There's a board here. Maybe it's. There's nothing in the board. It's what you're calling in, and that's just the tool. So it's really you.
Right.
You could use because I could just use a piece of paper and write letters, and I could do it. It doesn't have to be a specific board or anything. So. Yeah.
Right, just opening a portal or
opening it, yeah.
Connection. So most people, they're closed to stuff. Even if they're not aware of it.
Right.
But then once you become more aware, you open yourself to it, and it's a new reality that's imposing itself or can impose itself on you once you're aware of it. So,
yeah, a great example is, for instance, most people try it and it doesn't work. That's because they're not energetically open and attuned. It took me about 8 months to be able to use it on my own because once I was getting attuned to Reiki, I was doing a lot of energy work on myself. The crown chakra was opening. My third eye is still not open, but that crown chakra seems to be. And so I'm able to use it and now even channel off the board, and I do automatic writing, and it's the same people coming on. It's my angels. I have one main angel and another assistant angel, and I get the most fabulous messages, and I've had a great experience. But yeah, you want to protect yourself. You want to use it. You don't want to use it when you're drinking or using drugs or joking around. You have to be. These are real entities. They have personalities and feelings. You don't want to just say, "Hey, where are you?" You want to be polite and say hello and goodbye and thankful and all of that.
I totally agree, and you brought up some really great points there. So I love how you said that you've been working with these beings down, and now you have some allies or some spiritual connections that are very strong. Yeah. And that's something that happens when you start doing this on a regular basis. If you do it correctly, you will build alliances with certain spiritual beings, and then other spiritual beings will seek you out. You're kind of become a beacon, and they can, depending on how you approach this, they can be positive or negative. So you have been calling in these positive beings to come and work with you on the channeling and on the board and these other things you're doing. So that's part of this whole process. You will get these spirit allies that will help you over time. You may not even know who they are. Like I have some spiritual beings and gods that I work with. There are other ones that I know are working with me that I have no idea who they are, what they are, but I know they're helping me. So it's kind of an interesting thing that as you develop a beingness in this whole area.
Yeah, and the fear there, people are afraid that dark energies or demons are going to come, and what you do is just, I declare, may only those entities or spirits of the highest of the white light of Christ, of the highest vibration, are allowed here, and that's all that's allowed here. And I call in Archangel Michael, please protect this space. Jesus, fill this space with white light. And so I didn't have any negative things. But if you don't do that, I guess anybody could come knocking.
Yeah, like you said, if you're drinking or something, or just like, oh, this is a joke, or if you
Right.
decided like go to a mental hospital and just do it in the middle of the night.
But I mean, demon. That's pretty radical. You know, I don't think demons are just floating around waiting to, the devil.
Right? No, I don't think generally.
Yeah,
No.
I would think it's pretty rare unless you are, like you said, using drugs or drinking or really joking around or going to a graveyard with it or doing some, really playing not responsibly.
I agree.
All right, thank you, Dr. Erich, and you guys, all of his
Well,
links are below, and if you want to find out more on his website, he's got some great courses on dark energies and more.